Today, we're diving into a pretty radical vision for humanity's future, and our guide is Andrew Turtle's book, Abundance. Think of it as a roadmap for our civilization's next big steps, a journey from a world defined by scarcity to our next great evolutionary chapter. Right at the heart of the book is this really powerful idea. It says that getting to a world of abundance, well, that's not a tech problem anymore. We've pretty much got the tools. The real hurdle, the real bottleneck, is us. It's our own collective maturity. The challenge has shifted from what we can build to who we can become. All right, so here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to trace this journey through 5 key stages. First, we'll look at the world we all know, the one built on scarcity. Then we'll dive into the wild transition we're in right now. After that, we'll see the blueprint for building a whole new world. Try to imagine what life is actually like after scarcity. And finally, get a little cosmic and explore humanity's potential destiny out there among the stars. So, to really get where we're going, we have to be super honest about where we are right now. The book gives our current civilization a name, Day 2. And it says we're running on an operating system that's been in place for centuries. An OS built on one core assumption, scarcity. You know, this single idea, this feeling that there's just not enough, has been like an invisible hand shaping almost everything. It's the engine that drives our competitive markets, it's the root of so much inequality, and it's the source of this deep background anxiety that has pretty much defined human history. Our entire social structure is designed to manage this idea of lack. And this is the core psychological shift the book talks about. We're moving from that old Day 2 scarcity mindset, one that's all about competition, fear, and just taking what you can, and we're shifting towards this emerging Day 3 abundance mindset. And that's all about cooperation, seeing possibilities everywhere, and regenerating what we use. This isn't just some feel-good idea. The book argues it's a necessary evolution for our survival. So if that's the big mindset shift, where are we in that process? Well, the book argues we are living inside the transition right now. This is Day 3. It's not a stable new world yet, but it's that turbulent, often messy and chaotic process of getting there. It's that awkward phase where the old world is breaking down, but the new one hasn't quite been born. This is the big question, isn't it? I mean, it's so easy to look at the news and just see the old systems, the same old problems. But the evidence for this transition, it's all around us, if we just know what we're looking for. The book points to these really concrete, measurable trends that show scarcity's grip is actually getting weaker. And we're not talking about some far-off dream. This is happening right now. The cost of renewable energy has absolutely cratered, falling way below fossil fuels. Automation is changing our whole relationship with work. How we produce food is starting to break free from the limits of land and climate. And maybe most importantly, culturally, you see younger generations just rejecting those old stories about scarcity. And this right here, this explains the central tension of our time. It's why everything feels so weird and full of contradictions. We've built the technological capability for abundance. Think about it, near limitless clean energy, automated factories, but we're still trying to shove it all through these old, rusty distribution systems that were designed for scarcity. That mismatch is the source of so much of the instability we feel today. Okay, so how do we fix that? How do we resolve that tension and actually bridge the gap between what we're capable of and our current reality? Well, it's not just about changing our minds. It means we have to do a complete overhaul of our physical world. We have to build the core infrastructures that are actually designed for abundance from the ground up. And here's basically the blueprint for that new world. For every core human need, we're talking energy, food, housing, the book maps out a clear path forward. We evolve from finite, dirty fossil fuels to clean, universal renewables. We move away from fragile industrial agriculture toward resilient, local, and automated food systems. And we go from housing being a market commodity to shelter being treated as a universal utility. So let's fast forward. Just imagine a world where these new infrastructures are real, where they're fully built out. This is what the book calls Day 4. It's the moment our civilization finally graduates from the chaos of the Day 3 transition and reaches a state of planetary maturity. It's us, running on a completely new operating system. At the very heart of this Day 4 world is something called the utility economy. In this system, the absolute essentials for a good life, energy, food, water, they're no longer scarce things you have to earn or fight over. They're treated like public utilities, guaranteed to every single person as a basic right of civilization, all delivered by a smart, automated infrastructure. And the psychological impact of this, it's huge. Just think about it. When automation and abundant energy totally decouple work from survival, our fundamental human question changes. It's no longer, how do I make enough money to live? It becomes, okay, my survival is guaranteed, so what is my unique contribution to the world? Imagine the explosion of creativity and potential that unlocks. But here's where it gets really mind-bending. Becoming a stable, abundant civilization on this planet, that's not the end of the story. According to the book, that's just the preface. It's the launch pad for a much grander journey for humanity, one that takes us way beyond our world and out into the cosmos. This trajectory lays out the potential path for any species that makes it. First, you have to get your own house in order, right? Achieve that day 4 planetary stability. From that solid foundation, a real unified planetary consciousness can emerge. And only then can you responsibly start exploring the cosmos and maybe, just maybe, one day take on the role of mentors for other, younger civilizations just starting their own journey. And that, right there, is the ultimate point of all of this. Abundance isn't just about having more stuff or an easier life. It's the necessary foundation for our entire species to finally grow up, to become a coherent, conscious civilization that's capable of taking on its responsibilities, not just here on this planet, but out in our galactic neighborhood. And that leaves us with a really powerful question that brings this whole cosmic vision right back down to Earth, right back to you. If your basic needs were totally met, freeing you from that daily grind of just trying to survive, what would you choose to do? What problems would you want to solve? What art would you create? What would be your contribution?